Commander Junho stood at the observation deck of the Galactic Concord station, gazing at the stars. He adjusted his blue diplomat uniform and took a deep breath. Today was important. The Viridian Empire, the most powerful civilization in the galaxy, was sending representatives to the Peace Summit. "Commander, they're here," said Officer Taiho, interrupting Junho's thoughts. "The Viridian royal ship has docked." Junho nodded and straightened his posture. As Earth's top diplomat, he needed to make a good impression. Humans were still new to the galactic community. Many alien species saw them as primitive. The Viridian delegation entered the main hall with a display of light and color. Their skin shimmered blue under the station lights. At the center walked a female Viridian wearing elaborate ceremonial armor. Her head was held high, her eyes scanning the room with cool detachment. "Princess Nari of the Viridian Empire," announced a tall attendant. Whispers filled the room. No one expected the Emperor to send his daughter. This meant the Empire was taking the summit seriously. Junho watched as alien diplomats rushed to greet the princess. The Viridians were known for their advanced technology and long lifespans. They rarely showed interest in younger species like humans. Later that day, as formal introductions began, Junho found himself face to face with Princess Nari. Her silver eyes studied him with curiosity. "So you are human," she said, her translator converting her musical language. "Your species is quite new to space travel, correct?" "Yes, Your Highness," Junho replied with a polite bow. "We've only achieved faster-than-light travel 50 years ago. Interesting. My grandfather's records mention humans. He found your kind unpredictable." Before Junho could respond, alarm sirens blared throughout the station. Red emergency lights flashed. "Warning! Life support systems failing in Section 7. Gravity fluctuations detected. All personnel evacuate immediately," announced the station's AI. Panic spread across the hall. Diplomats rushed toward the exits, creating dangerous crowding. Junho noticed the princess's guards forming a protective circle around her. "Your Highness," Junho called out. "Those exits lead to Section 7. It's not safe." The princess's guards ignored him, continuing to push through the crowd. Junho made a quick decision. He rushed forward, pushing past surprised aliens. "Your Highness, please follow me. I know a safer route." The princess's silver eyes widened with surprise. Her guards moved to block Junho, but a violent shake of the station sent everyone stumbling. The artificial gravity fluctuated, causing several diplomats to float helplessly. "The human is correct," said Princess Nari to her guards. "Let him guide us." Junho led the princess and her guards through service corridors he had memorized during his station briefings. As they moved, the station shook again. A ceiling panel broke loose, falling toward the princess. Without thinking, Junho leaped forward. His body, strengthened by Earth's higher gravity, moved with speed that surprised the Viridians. He pushed the princess aside and raised his arm, deflecting the heavy panel. "How did you move so quickly?" Princess Nari asked, her voice showing emotion for the first time. "Human reflexes," Junho said simply, examining his bruised arm. "This way, please." They reached a secure area where other diplomats were gathering. Engineers worked frantically to stabilize the station's systems. "It was an unexpected power surge," explained the station captain. "No sabotage, just old systems failing. Everyone is safe now." Throughout the rest of the day, Junho noticed the princess watching him during the resumed meetings. Her silver eyes followed his movements with an intensity that made him uncomfortable. That evening, Junho returned to his quarters, exhausted from the day's events. As he prepared for sleep, his communication panel chimed. "Commander Junho," said the station AI, "you have received a formal invitation to the Viridian royal vessel tomorrow at 800 hours. Princess Nari requests your presence for a private audience." Junho stared at the message in surprise. Viridians rarely sought private meetings with humans. What could the princess want? Little did Junho know that this invitation would change his life forever. Princess Nari had developed a fascination with him. His quick thinking, his physical capabilities, his unpredictability. To the princess, who had lived for centuries surrounded by predictable, logical Viridians, Junho represented something new and exciting, and the Viridian royal family always claimed what interested them. Junho arrived at the designated docking bay exactly at 800 hours. 2 Viridian guards with shimmering blue skin stood waiting. They wore ceremonial armor that seemed more decorative than functional. "Commander Junho of Earth," one guard said. "Princess Nari awaits your presence." The guards led him through a series of gleaming corridors aboard the royal vessel. Unlike the functional Galactic Concord station, the Viridian ship was beautiful. The walls shifted colors like living art. The air smelled faintly sweet. They reached a large circular room. Princess Nari sat on an elevated chair, studying data streams that floated in the air before her. She dismissed them with a wave when she noticed Junho. "Commander, thank you for accepting my invitation," she said. Her voice had a musical quality even through the translator. "It's an honor, Your Highness," Junho replied with a formal bow. "Please, sit." She gestured to a chair that formed from the floor itself. "I have many questions about humans." For the next hour, the princess asked Junho about Earth, human history, and their biology. She seemed particularly interested in human adaptability. "Is it true that humans can survive in environments from freezing to desert heat?" she asked. "Yes, with proper preparation. We evolved as persistence hunters on a planet with many climate zones." Princess Nari's silver eyes widened. "Fascinating. Viridians require careful environmental control." As their conversation continued, attendants brought food and drinks. Junho politely accepted a glowing blue beverage that tasted like honey. "Would you be willing to demonstrate human physical capabilities?" Princess Nari suddenly asked. "What kind of demonstration?" Junho asked cautiously. The princess led him to another room with various obstacles and puzzles. "These are training programs for our military. I'm curious how a human would approach them." For the next several hours, Junho solved puzzles, navigated obstacle courses, and even sparred with training robots. The princess watched everything with intense focus, occasionally taking notes. "Remarkable," she said after Junho defeated a combat simulation. "You use intuition where Viridians would apply logic. It's unpredictable." By the time they finished, Junho was exhausted. "Your Highness, I should return to the station. The summit resumes tomorrow." "Of course," Princess Nari nodded. "My guards will escort you." But instead of returning to the docking bay, the guards led Junho to a luxurious room. "These will be your quarters," one explained. "There must be a misunderstanding," Junho said. "I need to return to the station. The princess has requested you remain as her guest." The guard replied. "Is the accommodation not suitable?" Before Junho could protest further, he felt a subtle vibration through the floor. Looking out a viewport, he was shocked to see the Galactic Concord station growing smaller. "The ship was moving. We can't be leaving," Junho exclaimed. "The summit isn't finished." The princess completed necessary diplomatic exchanges. The guard stated simply, "We are returning to the Viridian homeworld." Junho rushed to the communication panel trying to contact the station or Earth's embassy, but the system wouldn't connect. Princess Nari entered the room, seeming surprised by his distress. "Is something wrong, Commander?" "Your Highness, I wasn't informed we would be departing. I have duties at the summit. I must return." The princess tilted her head, studying him like a curious specimen. "But I've claimed you as my diplomatic attaché through right of intellectual interest. The proper forms were filed with your station leadership." "Claimed me? I don't understand." "It's a great honor," she explained, as if this clarified everything. When a royal family member finds a subject of particular educational value, they may claim temporary custodianship for cultural exchange. "On Earth, people aren't claimed, Your Highness. I need to return to my post." Princess Nari's expression showed genuine confusion. "But the benefits to both our species will be substantial. You'll have access to Viridian knowledge few outsiders ever see." Junho realized with growing alarm that this wasn't a simple misunderstanding. In the princess's mind, she had followed proper protocol. She didn't see anything wrong with taking him to her homeworld without his consent. "How long is this cultural exchange?" he asked carefully. Until I've completed my study of human adaptability, she replied vaguely. Perhaps a Viridian season or two. Junho knew Viridian seasons lasted nearly an Earth year. Your Highness, a new voice interrupted. An older male Viridian entered the room. His armor indicated high rank. Commander Junho, I am Captain Sunwoo, head of the princess's security. Her father, Emperor Dongyun, has instructed me to ensure your comfortable stay with us. Something in Captain Sunwoo's tone made Junho uneasy. The captain was watching him with cold calculation. The Emperor looks forward to meeting this human who has captured his daughter's interest, Sunwoo added. It's been centuries since His Majesty has shown curiosity about a lesser species. Princess Nari didn't seem to notice the insult. She smiled at Junho. You'll love the Imperial Palace. I've already prepared research scenarios to test your capabilities further. Junho realized he was trapped. Somehow, he needed to contact Earth before they reached the Viridian homeworld, but with communications blocked and guards watching his every move, escape seemed impossible, and Princess Nari was watching him with those silver eyes, like a collector admiring a rare specimen. The royal vessel glided through space toward the Viridian homeworld. For 3 days, Junho had tried to find a way to communicate with Earth. Every attempt failed. The ship's systems blocked all his messages. Princess Nari continued her research on human capabilities. Each day she created new scenarios to test Junho's problem-solving skills. Despite his situation, Junho found himself impressed by Viridian technology. Their holographic simulations were indistinguishable from reality. Your adaptability is remarkable, Princess Nari told him after he solved a particularly difficult puzzle. Viridians would approach this with pure logic. You use intuition and creativity. Humans have always needed to adapt quickly, Junho replied. Our history is full of unexpected challenges. On the 4th day, alarms blared throughout the ship. The lights flickered and gravity temporarily failed, sending objects floating. Princess Nari's guards rushed into her chambers. Your Highness, we have a critical systems failure, reported Captain Sunwoo. The main AI core is malfunctioning. Life support systems are deteriorating. Impossible, Princess Nari said. Our systems have redundancies. All backup systems are failing in sequence, Your Highness. It appears to be a cascade error we've never encountered before. The ship shuddered violently. Junho grabbed a wall handle to steady himself. Can you repair it? The princess asked, her usual calm demeanor showing cracks of concern. The engineers are trying, but the repair systems are automated through the main AI. Without it, they don't know how to proceed manually. It's been thousands of years since Viridians needed to make manual repairs. Junho stepped forward. I might be able to help. Captain Sunwoo glared at him. This is Viridian technology, human, far beyond your understanding. Perhaps, Junho said, but humans still use manual systems. We understand mechanical backups. And right now your advanced systems are failing. Princess Nari studied him. Take him to engineering, she ordered. Let him try. In the engineering section, Viridian technicians stared helplessly at incomprehensible error codes. The ship's temperature was rising dangerously. The cooling systems will fail in 20 minutes, one engineer reported. After that, the reactor shielding will destabilize. Junho examined the system diagrams. Though the technology was advanced, the principles were recognizable. Your AI normally regulates power flow, right? He asked. Without it, the energy is building up with nowhere to go. We need to create a manual bypass. Using tools he had to explain to the engineers, Junho physically disconnected several systems and rewired them. His hands moved with practiced efficiency, remembering his training on Earth's older spacecraft. This is so primitive, whispered one engineer, watching him use mechanical tools instead of automated ones. Sometimes primitive works when advanced fails, Junho replied, connecting the final wire. The temperature stabilized. The lights returned to full brightness. The ship's systems gradually came back online. Princess Nari watched the entire process with fascination. You saved my ship, she said later as they returned to her chambers. Without your human knowledge, we might all have perished. Word of Junho's actions spread quickly through the ship. The Viridian crew looked at him differently now, with grudging respect or in some cases uneasy fear. That evening, Captain Sunwoo entered Junho's quarters without announcement. "The princess is quite impressed with you, human," he said coldly. "She has informed her father of your usefulness." "I'd like to speak with my government," Junho replied. "They must be concerned about my absence. Messages have been sent explaining your new role as the princess's attaché. No further communication is necessary." "Captain, on Earth this would be considered kidnapping." Sunwoo's expression hardened. "Be careful, human. The Emperor is not as fascinated by your species as his daughter. In fact, he considers your influence potentially dangerous." After Sunwoo left, Junho tried again to access communications. This time, he found an unsecured terminal. He quickly typed a message to Earth's embassy, but before he could send it, the screen went dark. "I wouldn't do that." Princess Nari's voice came from behind him. She stood in the doorway, watching him with those silver eyes. "Father wouldn't approve." "Your Highness, I need to contact my people." "You are among my people. Now, Junho." She moved closer. "Don't you understand? I've chosen you. In our culture, that's a great honor." "In my culture, people have choices too." The princess touched his face, studying his expression. "You're unlike anyone I've known in my 3 centuries of life. I won't let my father or anyone else take you away." Junho realized with growing alarm that the princess's interest had evolved beyond scientific curiosity. And from the warning in Captain Sunwoo's voice, he suspected the Emperor might have deadly solutions for this dangerous influence on his daughter. As the ship approached the glittering blue-green world of the Viridian Empire, Junho knew he needed to escape before it became impossible. The Imperial Palace of Viridian Prime was like nothing Junho had ever seen. Massive crystalline towers floated impossibly above an azure sea. Gravity-defying walkways connected structures that would be engineering marvels on Earth. It should have been beautiful. Instead, it felt like the most luxurious prison in the galaxy. For 2 weeks, Junho had been presented to various nobles and scientists as Princess Nari's prized human. He demonstrated human abilities, answered endless questions about Earth, and watched as the princess took pride in her discovery. But he also noticed the suspicious glances from Emperor Dongyun, the cold calculation in his eyes. One night, Junho woke to the sound of his chamber door sliding open. Years of military training had him instantly alert. A shadowy figure moved silently toward his bed. Junho rolled away just as something sharp pierced his pillow, a poisoned blade. Without hesitation, Junho grabbed a decorative vase and swung it at his attacker. The figure dodged with inhuman speed, but Junho had anticipated this. He kicked low, connecting with the attacker's knee. A grunt of pain confirmed the hit. Guards rushed in, lights illuminating the scene. The assassin was gone, escaped through a ventilation shaft too small for the guards to follow. "An unfortunate incident," Captain Sunwoo said later, examining the poisoned blade. "Perhaps a jealous noble. The princess's attention is highly coveted." But Junho saw the lie in Sunwoo's eyes. This was no random attack. The Emperor was eliminating a problematic influence on his daughter. The next day, during a tour of the palace gardens, another accident occurred. A decorative floating platform malfunctioned, nearly crushing Junho under tons of ornamental stone. Only his quick reflexes saved him. Princess Nari was furious. "This is unacceptable. I will speak to father immediately." "Your Highness," Junho said quietly. "I don't think that's wise." That night, Junho made his move. He had carefully observed the palace security systems. Viridians relied entirely on AI and automated systems a human could trick because they were programmed by beings who thought differently. Using techniques from Earth's oldest spy manuals, Junho created a crude device from his room's electronics. It generated a heat signature identical to a sleeping human. Then he pried open a maintenance panel he had discovered days earlier. The service tunnels were designed for automated repair drones, not people. Junho crawled through tight spaces, following a mental map he had constructed during his tours. Twice he froze as security drones passed, but they weren't programmed to look for humans in places humans couldn't possibly access. After hours of careful movement, Junho emerged in the lower levels of the palace. Here, away from the royal quarters, he noticed something strange. Humans working alongside Viridians. "Hey, how did you get here?" A human woman in service clothing spotted him. Junho raised his hands. "I'm not looking for trouble, I'm trying to escape." The woman's eyes widened. "You're her new pet? The princess is human?" "I'm nobody's pet," Junho said firmly. She looked around nervously, then gestured him to follow. Quickly, before the cameras, "Cycle back." She led him to a hidden room where 3 other humans waited. They introduced themselves as Minho, Jiwoo, and Do-hyun, all collected by various Viridian nobles over the years. "They take humans who show unusual skills," explained Minho, who had been an engineer. "The nobles collect us like rare specimens." "Is there any way to contact Earth?" Junho asked. "The Viridians jam all unauthorized signals," said Jiwoo, formerly a computer specialist. "We've tried for years." Junho thought about the ship's systems he had repaired. What if we used old technology? Something the Viridians wouldn't recognize or monitor? "Like what?" Do-hyun asked. "Radio waves. The most basic form of communication. Viridians abandoned radio thousands of years ago. For the next few days, Junho hid among the human servants, helped by his new allies. Together, they secretly built a crude radio transmitter from discarded parts. Meanwhile, the palace was in uproar. Princess Nari had ordered an unprecedented search for her missing human. Junho caught glimpses of her on monitor screens, her usual composed demeanor replaced by genuine distress. "She really cares for you," Jiwoo noted, watching the princess issue commands to search parties. "In her way," Junho agreed. "But she doesn't understand that caring means respecting someone's freedom." As they activated their makeshift transmitter, hoping to reach any Earth ships in the sector, alarms blared throughout the palace. Their signal had been detected. "Time to move," Junho said grimly. "They've found us." The makeshift radio transmitter sent its signal across space. Junho and the other humans waited anxiously in their hiding place beneath the palace. Security forces searched the upper levels, getting closer by the hour. "Do you think anyone heard us?" Minho asked, watching Junho adjust the crude device. "I don't know. The signal is weak, but Earth has listening posts throughout this sector." On the 3rd day of hiding, their food supplies nearly gone, Junho made a difficult decision. "I need to speak with Princess Nari." "Are you crazy?" Jiwoo grabbed his arm. "The Emperor wants you dead, but the princess doesn't. She's our best chance." Junho removed a panel from their hideout ceiling. "If I'm not back in 6 hours, try to send the signal again." Junho made his way through maintenance tunnels toward the royal quarters. He knew Princess Nari's daily routine from his weeks in the palace. At this hour, she would be alone in her private garden. He was right. The princess sat beside a pool of glowing water, her usual elegant posture slumped in sadness. "Your Highness." Junho stepped from the shadows. Princess Nari jumped to her feet. "Junho, where have you been?" "I've been—" She stopped herself, regaining composure. "My guards will be here any moment." "I know, but we need to talk first." Junho remained just out of reach. "Your father tried to have me killed." The princess's silver eyes widened. "That's impossible." "You know it's true. He sees me as a threat to your focus, to the Empire's traditions." For a long moment, Princess Nari was silent. Then she whispered, "I suspected, but didn't want to believe it." "I've contacted Earth," Junho continued. "Not because I want to escape you, but because what's happening here, collecting sentient beings like objects, is wrong. But it's our way. For thousands of years, traditions can change," Junho interrupted, "especially bad ones." Before the princess could respond, an alarm sounded throughout the palace. A guard rushed into the garden. "Your Highness, an Earth vessel has entered our space. They demand the return of Commander Junho and all human guests." Princess Nari looked at Junho with new understanding. You said your people were primitive, said we were adaptable, Junho corrected her. Earth has been developing technologies in different directions than the Viridian Empire. We kept our mechanical skills while exploring new paths. Emperor Dongyun summoned them to the throne room. His face was tight with controlled anger as holograms showed an Earth diplomatic vessel approaching. This human has created an incident, the Emperor said coldly. We should eliminate the problem immediately. Father, no. Princess Nari stepped between Junho and the Emperor. I've studied humans for months now. Their adaptability, their creativity, these are valuable traits. Traits our people have lost through reliance on automation. They are lesser beings, the Emperor insisted. Are they? Princess Nari gestured to the hologram. Their ship bypassed our outer defenses as if they didn't exist. How is that possible if they are so primitive? The truth was that Earth had developed technologies the Viridians had abandoned centuries ago. Technologies invisible to Viridian sensors precisely because they were considered obsolete. The Earth diplomatic team arrived, led by Admiral Hyun. The negotiations were tense but revealing. Humans had been quietly advancing, combining old mechanical knowledge with new innovations. The Viridians discovered that humans weren't primitive at all, just different. We propose an exchange program, Junho suggested during the talks. Voluntary cultural ambassadors, not collected specimens. Both our species have knowledge to share. Grudgingly, Emperor Dongyun agreed. The incident had revealed weaknesses in Viridian defenses that couldn't be ignored. An alliance was better than potential conflict. Princess Nari approached Junho after the formal treaty signing. Will you return to Earth now? Actually, Junho smiled. I've accepted a position as Earth's ambassador to the Viridian Empire. The princess's expression brightened. Then we will continue our cultural exchange? Yes, but as equals this time. Junho took her hand. I have much to learn about Viridians, just as you have about humans. Princess Nari's silver eyes sparkled with understanding. Partners, not possessions. Exactly. In the years that followed, the unique partnership between Commander Junho and Princess Nari revolutionized relations between their species. The Viridian Empire learned to value human ingenuity, while humanity gained access to advanced Viridian technology. Other collected humans were freed, returning home or choosing to stay as proper diplomats. And throughout the galaxy, the story spread of how one human's adaptability had changed an empire, and how a princess had learned that the greatest discoveries come not from possession, but from respect. The end.